Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you guys how simple it is to make your own baby food at home. This is stage 1 baby food for your little one. So if your baby is 4 to 6 months, these are great recipes you can do. I'm going to share with you guys how I cook blueberries, green beans, pears, and apricots. So let's go ahead and get started. So you're definitely going to need something to blend the baby food. I use the Nutribullet and I really like it because I have the option to make the portions big or small, and it comes with 2 different blades which can be helpful to puree the small chunks of fruit or veggies. It also comes with its own storage containers that allow you to mark the date on which you made the food in case you keep it in the fridge for too long. It comes with a lot more other stuff, but these are the things that I mainly use from it. If you don't have a Nutribullet, you can use a Nutribullet or any blender that you have to puree the food. You can also use regular storage containers like I'm showing here, and that's usually what I do because I run out of the storage containers from the Nutribullet. Let's get started on the actual cooking of the food. Like I said earlier, I'm going to show you guys how to make blueberries, green beans, pears, and peaches. It's really easy, simple, and it actually tastes delicious. So I'm going to cook the peaches first. I already have the water boiling. You will definitely need a pot. Fill it up with water. You're going to need a strainer, and then you put the top on to trap the heat. If you guys have a steam cooker, then you can definitely cook your fruits and veggies in there, but this is what I'm working with, so this is how I'll show you. But yeah, like I said, I already have the water boiling. I have the peaches in the strainer. I've covered the top to trap the heat so it cooks fast. These peaches were frozen, so it's going to take some time to defrost and soften, but once they're done, I empty the peaches in the Nutribullet and I blend it. I do not add any milk or water. I just blend it as is. The blade that I'll be using to blend the peaches are the ones with the 4 blades. The reason why is because this fruit is a little bit more on the bigger side and nothing will catch on the bottom of the blade as much. While the peaches are blending, I go ahead and put the green beans on the strainer, put it on the stove, and let it cook because obviously it's going to take some time since it's frozen. If you guys don't want to wait so long for the steam cooker to cook your fruits and veggies because it's frozen, just take it out maybe an hour prior to cooking it so it defrosts. That way when you steam it, it doesn't take that long. But this is just how I do it. So this spatula that I'm showing you right here, it actually came with the Nutribullet, and you could kind of mix in to see if everything is pureed or not. And then I just empty it out into a storage container, and that's it. So that is my peaches. I just check to see the consistency. You guys can see it's really nice and smooth, and I did not add any water in it. So that's that. Those are the apricots. I do rinse the Nutribullet materials that I use, and it's really easy. I just rinse the Nutribullet with water using the sprayer option on my faucet. This allows the water to come out with force, and it easily takes away the remaining food particles, so it's easy to clean and reuse right away. Now, while I'm doing all of this, like the cleaning, the pouring, the blending and stuff, I did put the green beans in the pot because, mind you, it does need to soften a bit because it was frozen. So after I do all of that, I go on and check the green beans, and you guys will see here that they're almost done, but not quite. And after they're a little bit more on the softer side, I go in and put it inside the blender and puree it. For the green beans, I do use a liquid to make it a little bit more of a smoother texture because the skin of the green beans is a little bit more on the thicker side, and it is a little bit more chunky, and it's a lot more drier than the fruits for some reason. I don't know why, but these green beans, I always have to use some type of liquid. So in this scenario, I'm going to use my breast milk. I have not used any type of liquid right now as it's in the blender, but I will show you guys after I take it off the blender. Of course, I'm going to mix it a little bit because I want to make it as fine as possible. I want the blender to blend as much as possible before I mix in my milk. This way I don't have to, pour a lot of milk to blend everything. I try to blend it as much as possible first, and then I go in and pour like an ounce of breast milk, and then I put it on the blender again, let it puree, and then see how much more I need to add, and then I just add more breast milk, like depending on how much more I'll need. So over here, I'm just letting it puree, and shake. I like to shake the blender because it just ensures that every little thing is getting pureed as small as possible, because my daughter, she doesn't like any chunkiness right now. I tried to feed her chunky strawberries the other day and she just like spit it out. She didn't want it. So if the baby doesn't like the texture of the food, they won't eat it. Don't think that, oh, the baby doesn't like this food because of the flavor. It could be the texture. So anytime I make the food very smooth, she eats it with no problem. And also if her food is cold, she doesn't like it. So just make sure that the temperature of the food is right for your baby, the texture is right, and it also tastes good too. So you just want to make sure that those things are good, and your baby will be happy, and so will you. Once you start making your baby food, you'll kind of know which foods you'll need to add milk to, which ones you can do it without it. Every baby is different, and every baby prefers a different consistency. So when it comes to their food, like the mom knows best, right? I'm just cooking the pears. For the pears, I love to use cinnamon for added flavor, and my daughter also loves this. After the pears are done steaming, I add some of the cinnamon powder into the baby bullet, and then I blend it. By the way, these are fresh pears that I had Claudia cut up, and she put them in the freezer. So what you guys can also do, like I mentioned earlier, if you guys have a lot of fresh fruit and you can't finish it in time, they're gonna go bad, you can definitely cut it up, put it in a Ziploc bag, date it, and put it in the freezer. That's what I had Claudia do with these pears, and I'm using them for my daughter to feed her, and she loves them. They taste amazing. They still taste fresh, so you guys can definitely do that as well. All right, at this point I want to rinse the strainer because there's some food particles stuck, so I just rinse it with the spray option on my faucet again, and then I put the blueberries in. I always do blueberries last because it stains everything. I use the 2-bladed option to puree the wild blueberries since the blades are positioned lower. The lower position allows smaller fruits and veggies to be pureed evenly and smoothly without having to blend it over and over. Blueberries obviously are a lot more smaller than the pears, green beans, and apricots, so the 2-bladed option is perfect for blending this fruit. Also, for the blueberries, I didn't use any type of breast milk or water to make the texture more creamy or anything. I literally just blended the blueberries as is, and the texture came out perfectly. And that is basically it for, how I make the baby food at home. It literally just took me about 30 minutes, and the cleanup is super easy as well. By the way, the amount of food that I cooked lasts my daughter about 2 or 3 days. I usually make her fresh food every 2 to 3 days, but you can also make it in bigger batches using the bigger blender, and then store the extra food that you made in the freezer. Once you run out of the baby food in the fridge, you can restock it again from the freezer. This is great if you are a working mom, but you still want to make your baby's food at home. That's definitely a great option. You can also cook a variety of different things like carrots, sweet potatoes, banana, butternut squash, apples. The list goes on, but these are just some of the things that I decided to cook today. If you guys found this video helpful and learned how easy it can be to create your own baby food at home, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next one.